Welcome to Vegan Ultra. I'm your inspiration guide, Adam Gallus, on this epic quest for health, hope, and happiness in which I lose 150 pounds in 12 months on a whole food vegan diet while walking 3,000 miles to prove to myself, my family, and everyone watching on YouTube that we can all become the ultra versions of ourselves if we give it a chance and are powered by plants. Now, today is a special edition of the Weekly Weigh-In. Not just for my results, but this will hopefully help inspire people and even prepare you for some struggles coming in 2024. Because as I talked with Sean in Vegan Chat this week, 50% of Americans want to lose weight in 2024. But of course, doing so, even if you're losing 150 pounds in a year, it does not mean 3 pounds a week steadily. No. There are ups, there are downs. So let us take a look at the weigh-in results. So first, here I've zoomed in so you can more easily read it. So you can see there have been weeks when I've lost 15 pounds, 10 pounds, 5 pounds, but there have been even weeks where I gained 4 pounds. This was when I started weight training from the water weight. So here I've bolded this week's results. Shockingly, 4.6 pound weight gain. So what explains that? Well, we'll go through the actual nutrition stats, but most likely this is almost certainly due to water weight, specifically the timing of how much I ate on Friday night. But we can also see that here, gaining about 1.8 pounds of lean muscle mass, 1.7 pounds of muscle, according to my scale. Now, what does that mean in terms of achieving my goal of losing 150 pounds in a year? If I stay on track at 2.4 pounds from here on out, I will see, as you can notice here, boom, 152 pounds. So I'll show you exactly with the National Institutes of Health Body Weight Planner how to achieve that. But it's important to note, you will experience weight loss challenges like this. Disappointing weeks where you might not lose anything or even gain weight, and you will want to know why. So most likely what we'll talk about in the food log section, what caused this increase, at least my hypothesis. But remember, weight loss itself is not as important as overall health. So let's take a look at the other parts. Body fat, 23.7, still coming down, 11% visceral body fat, so that's moving in the wrong direction. We can see some increases in muscle and bone, and my basal metabolic rate increase. Overall, 83% of my weight loss so far is fat. Blood sugar coming in very healthy, 93. And here is something I'm very proud of. 99 systolic blood pressure. That is compared to 145 when I started. Absolutely incredible. The lowest I have ever seen as an adult. Diastolic 72. So mean arterial pressure 81, and look at that, as high as 103. From hypertension to completely normal, healthy, in fact optimal, according to meta-analysis looking at the J curve. Similarly, the resting pulse coming down from nearly 80 to 73. Okay, so how about what caused this weight gain? My theory is, first, let's take a look at the calories that I ate. So this was the entire weekly food log. So remember that for a holiday week, I tried to get 21,000 calories for the week. That's 3,000 per day. So I was eating slightly more pistachios, 5 pounds of tangerines, 4.5 pounds of apples. This is just one large bag of tangerines from Walmart. This is 2 bags of apples, 3 bags of black grapes, and this, the pre-cut watermelon available at my local Cub grocery store. Those are about 5 pounds each. So this is 3 of those. And of course, the soup, the cinnamon almond milk, the cinnamon pea milk on weight training days. Now, the family Christmas dinner was actually relatively light at 2,200 calories. Christmas Eve dinner, we tend to be more celebratory. That was a 3,000 calorie meal. And I did finish off the salted caramel vegan bars. So those are only 180 calories each, but 9 grams of saturated fat. This is my personal hypothesis. What caused this weight gain? Specifically, now you might be wondering, well, how even eating 7 of these and 56 grams of saturated fat from coconut oil, how could that possibly result in a swing of 7 pounds compared to what the math said? 3 pounds expected from a 1,500 calorie deficit for the every day for this week compared to 4.6 pounds gain. Well, what I'm thinking is the gut microbiome. Remember, this is through short chain fatty acids. It modulates your mood, your sleep, your digestion, your metabolism, your immune system. And so simply dumping this much saturated fat into my gut, which is no longer used to it, potentially resulted in some of that water weight gain. And also, some of it might have simply been that I ate 5 pounds of watermelon on Friday night. That, of course, has lots of water in it. So let's take a look, though. What about the overall calories for the week? So 3,046 when we adjust for fiber, 2,982. So I was on track. Calories this week, 24% from fat, 20% protein, 56% from carbs. Looking at the J-curve from these meta-analysis for carb intake and mortality, 56% is pretty much right here at the optimal 53% level. Looking at total macronutrients, 108 grams of fiber, 160 grams of protein, 448 grams of carbohydrates. Protein per kilo, 1.5. Remember, 0.8 is the RDA, 1.2 or more for athletes, 1.6 to 1.8 if you're trying to gain weight and muscle, and I was at 1.5 for body weight, 2.1 for target body weight. But okay, so what about the micronutrients as well? So looking at the daily averages here, so 3,000 calories per day, 85 grams of fat, 15 grams of saturated fat. So slightly above the American Heart Association's recommendation, though specifically they recommend 6% from saturated fat. Mine came in at 4.2. So even on a feasting day with lots of vegan junk food for this week, still overall pretty good. 160, of course, protein. That is a lot of protein, a whole lot of carbs. 108 grams of fiber, that's about 3 times the recommended amount. But remember, we evolved eating 100 to 150, which is actually ideal. Sodium, 2,704, slightly elevated because of that processed foods, but protected by 11,000 milligrams per day of potassium, the anti-sodium that dilates blood vessels. 4,600 milligrams of calcium, 40 grams of non-heme iron. I only absorb what I need. And the potassium to sodium ratio, remember, 2+ is ideal according to the government. 1+ is the target according to the World Health Organization, coming in at 4 times as much potassium as sodium. Okay, so what about staying on track? I showed you how just 2.4 pounds per week from here on would get me to my goal of 150 pounds weight loss. In fact, slightly beyond it at 1 year. So is that actually possible? Well, yes, the National Institute of Health Body Weight Planner, from my current weight, even assuming that this was real weight gain, I somehow gained 4.6 pounds. Then in 189 days with the amount of exercise I'm doing now, remember, I'm increasing the exercise a little bit each week, but it's just assuming what I'm doing now, 219 minutes of daily exercise, 2,554, and that takes into account the fact that you will naturally burn less calories as you lose weight. On track for 10 to 13% body fat, 21 BMI, and 150-pound weight loss within 1 year. Now, of course, that simply says it's possible. What is the plan? I'll go through some of the recipes here that I'll be using in tomorrow's training update. Specifically, what is this new 2X super soup that I am using? But here is the bottom line. I am going to try out 1 ounce or 1 serving of pistachios a day. I already eat 1 ounce of walnuts per day, and I will try 1 carton of cinnamon almond milk. That has 1.3 servings per day. So that is a total of 3.3. I'll explain why in an upcoming Food Friday, the science-based magic of nuts, explaining why 3 to 4 servings of nuts appears to be the medically optimal amount. But so even factoring in the higher fat content there, the soup I'll need, and the same amount of fruit. I love fruit. Okay, so 5 pounds of tangerines, 4.5 pounds of apples, 6.5 pounds of grape, 15 pounds of watermelon, assuming I can actually find that much. It's out of season, but sometimes you can find a lot of watermelon. No family meals planned. Of course, we might actually have one on New Year's Day. We'll have to see. I'll be able to adjust this. This is just a baseline preliminary plan. So 2,597, but when you adjust for the 104 grams of fiber, 2,512 per day. And remember, the body weight plan at 2,554 would keep me on track. So this would be similar: 25% fat, 20% protein, 55% carbohydrates, 1.76 grams of protein per target body weight, and 1.3. So even for how much I weigh now, still more than enough protein for someone doing a lot of athletics. So there you have it. Now, the point here I'm trying to make is that I'm trying to accomplish something amazing. Losing 150 pounds in a year. That's not something that most people have to do. Losing 50 pounds in a year is more than enough, and something that you can do on a whole food vegan diet without any calorie counting. In fact, it's been shown through numerous studies that this is the easiest way to lose weight. If you don't want to track your calories, your food intake, just eat on the lifestyle as much as you want. What I'm trying to do, though, is inspire people by doing something incredible: 150 pounds in a year, 3,000 miles of walking, to show that we can all become the ultra versions of ourselves if we follow the science-based magic and nutrition-fueled sorcery that I've been covering on this channel with all the evidence, all the studies. So thank you for watching. And remember, the goal here is to showcase everything in real time, including the weekly body shot. You will watch me transform into Captain America over a 1-year period. And you will see everything: the good, the bad, the joyous successes, and the crushing defeats. That's what life is like. And being a Blue Zone vegan is not about living in a constant utopia where you lose 3 pounds a week every week and life is perfect. No, even in personal utopia, life is hard and we have to overcome challenges. But we can do that if we follow the science, if we follow the way nature intended for all of us to live. And I will prove it to you over the next year on this channel. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to this channel, like this video to help other people find it on YouTube, and consider trying a Blue Zone vegan lifestyle that's helped me to lose 87 pounds in 24 weeks, even with this weekly setback. That's still incredible, and I've never been healthier or happier, even though my life is still a mess. That's the power of a Blue Zone vegan lifestyle, the science-based magic and nutrition-fueled sorcery of how we can all achieve our own personal utopia if we give it a chance and are powered by plants.